What's up, guys? This is Sean with Excess Power. Today I'm going to be installing a piece of the Sundown deadener. I call it Sundown Vibraflex. That's obviously probably not what they call it. This stuff is a little bit thicker than, say, the other brand here, which is double rigid. We use this. As you can see, this whole floor has been done in this in 1 to 4 layers. You can see the different heights and different spots. So today I'm going to do a small piece just to kind of show you. Now, what I'm using right now, I'm using a can of MAP gas. Now, this is really good. It burns harder than propane. I don't think it's that much, but I can tell the difference in doing it myself. So we've already picked out a little piece of deadener here. As you can see, this stuff is very brittle when it's cold. So we're going to take this piece. We're going to put it over. This was an old, like a hole in the floor, basically, pretty much. It was one of the body access spots. So we're going to stick this on here. We're going to go ahead and put this on. Now, what I do right now to get it started, I like to get it warm, get it moving. Now, this is a little more labor intensive than most other type of deadeners. So it's kind of one of the things you need to just be patient with. But this stuff takes longer than double rigid for me. If you use a bigger torch, you may have better results. But for me, I like to use this just simply because of the size of it. And the Sundown stuff is actually a little bit cheaper. And it's actually just thicker. So for spots where I don't mind adding more stack thickness to like the floor, for example, where I don't mind having a little thicker substance, I love the Sundown stuff. Now, I do not really like using it on the roof. I don't know if this is too heavy for me. As you can see, if you want to look up, we use double rigid on the roof. But for floors, doors, the firewall, I will. Any places like that, I will use this stuff. Now, what I normally do is I get it nice and hot. As you can see, you have to get it extremely hot. If you'll scoot closer, you have to get it extremely hot to get it movable. You can't just barely heat this stuff or it's not going to work. You shouldn't see any lines that you can see from all this up here by the time it gets done. So what you should see is like this. It should literally look like what I call charcoal. It should literally look like almost asphalt. So what we like to do is, I like to just go around and just go slow, take my time, nothing too crazy, nothing too fast, and make sure everything's going right. If you do get bubbles in this, it's fine. A lot of times what will happen is the adhesive behind it actually gets too hot and it loses its stickiness. I know a lot of times if the surface is not prepped either, that will happen in the same way. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now there's already 3 layers beneath this right here, so this is obviously just another layer for the spot, but it's a great spot to illustrate why I would use this stuff. So this is just an empty hole. As you can see, it's a dip in the floor, and obviously how I like it when I'm looking at something like this, I want my floor on my meter side to be as high as possible, basically so that it doesn't allow air to get into the floor very well and actually forces it upwards. So on this one, I'm trying to get rid of this hole. So I will go through. Now later what I'll do is I'll go over this again when it's a little cooler and I'll heat it up and then cool it back down. I'll basically sear it with the same roller just in a wet solution like water. I don't really like using dish soap. I know some people like using ice cold water like a bucket. In fact, on my next video I'll probably do a video of me hitting it with the bucket. That way we can show you, okay, this is what it looks like when it's seared, because oftentimes what will happen is if you don't sear it, it'll roll up on the roller. And we've got another roller on the floor over there that actually shows the difference in how the roller can get clogged. So we don't want that to happen. So we'll sit here and do this. We've got just a second left. I like to join all my deadener together. I don't like it sitting differently, so what I'll do is I'll heat all the edges. Make sure it's all ran together. Excuse the dirt, we have been doing this for a while. We had a few rust spots on the floor. We want to go ahead and get sanded down to pure metal so we have a good contact surface. So that is pretty much it. So what you're going to see after this, now, if you want to do multiple layers, what you're not going to want to do is you're not going to want to put another layer on right now because it's just going to pull both layers off. What you want to do is give it a little bit, let it cool. So right now, it's very sticky. Very sticky. You could pull it up right now if you actually wanted to. What you can do is, say, move to another spot. Say over here, we've got it nice and hard. This is obviously the same stuff. Again, you got to fold it. You got to get it hot. It's going to break. So If you guys need anything, stay tuned for another video. Thank you.